Welcome everybody. Ralph Havens here, autoimmuneanswers.com. Welcome everybody. Ralph Havens here, autoimmuneanswers.com. And this is your Friday morning Matrix Energetics session. It's also going to be on podcast and on Facebook Live in a little bit. So welcome. And what I encourage you to do is to test something that you can test in a little bit, how your neck moves, how your shoulders move, how your back moves, walk around a little bit, see how the world looks to you, see how the world feels to you. You might want to put an intention out to the universe or to God, something that you would like, your heart's desire. If something were to change for you in the next few moments, what might that be? And would you notice it? So years ago, I had anyway, I think it's important to test things before and after, because it's good to know that something changed. And if you do notice a change in how your neck moves or your back or your shoulders or your body or some physical condition or the way a disease is manifesting in your body, or if you do notice a difference in the next few moments, what I've noticed with this work, with this matrix energetics, is that it's not just that changed. If your shoulder goes from here to here, or if you're instantly taller after a session, or if you move better, or your feet are different, or you just feel happier or looser, or somehow a little giddy or happier, or some kind of sadness has left your body. If you feel something, the cool thing is we don't even know what else just changed as well, because we haven't tested it. We haven't looked. Are your finances different? Are you going to get a job now? Do you get to move now? Are you going to be able to find your new home? Meet the love of your life? Is there something that's different? So the cool thing is we can test something right now that's real to you, so that we can see, does your shoulder move from here to here after a session, or does your neck feel looser, or do you walk differently? So I encourage you to test something right now to check for yourself. And I'm going to be showing you something that I found a few years ago, and it came from a few different places, and it surprised me, and it was cool because I've been looking for years more and more how to find faster, better, like how to help people heal faster, better, for myself, for my family, for other people. And along the way, I've had a lot of hardships. If you've been watching any of my videos or listening to me on my podcast or getting in my emails, if you're on our email list, we've been through a lot. We slept outside for a year because of a lot of hardship that happened, and lost a lot of money, and then had to figure all that stuff out. And I lost my health, where I couldn't run for a year and a half, a couple of years, and then figured that out and got healthy again, and can run again now. We moved from San Diego to the Pacific Northwest, and that was a whole big process. So lots of stuff has changed, and it spurred me on to really figure out like what to do first, how to save my life, my health, and other things. And I used to think I had it figured out. When I was growing up, I did what I was told, because I thought people had it figured out. You took your car in to get it serviced at regular intervals. I had all the service records for my cars, and I went to the doctor and did what I was told and got my vaccinations, and my parents did that, and my mom used baby formula instead of breast milk, because the doctors were saying that was more scientific and cleaner back in the 1960s. And so much stuff that I did because that's what I was told. I used to think that people had figured it out, that people had us, had our backs, the government and the health people, the doctors, and our Centers for Disease Control and all that kind of stuff. And so, but I had problems. I had teeth that were literally falling out of my mouth. I had a couple of teeth that I lost. I had cavities every single 6 months, even though I was going to the dentist, and the dentist was telling me it was just my DNA and I just had soft teeth, and it's just how it was going to go. And, I would just have to keep coming in and paying off massive amounts of dental bills. And then some things happened. And I ran into some people, a medical intuitive, Sharon G. Mateo, when I was 37. I was in the year 2000. And I started taking classes, and my body started changing. And I had a running injury at the time where I wasn't able to run for 8 months. But that worked. After 2 hours of a session, I was back to being able to run. And I started to figure stuff out. And at one point I was getting sessions from them. I got sessions regularly. I took 110 classes over 10 years. And I was working on myself continuously with things. And my teeth were no longer falling out of my mouth. My cavities were gone. I'm 59 now. And so for the past 23 years, I've had no dental problems after having dental problems for my entire life up until age 37. So I was seeing real big changes, and I was getting work done. And I told one of the practitioners, I said, that every 6 months I'd go to the dentist and I take antibiotics because, that's what they told me to do. I was told as a little kid that I had heart murmur. And they could feel things, and they said, you don't have a heart murmur. Go back to your doctor. So I went back to my doctor. I was in my 30s at that time. I went back to my doctor and he said, you don't have a heart murmur. So I went back to the dentist and gave him the little slip from my doctor that said, hey, he doesn't have to take antibiotics. The funny thing is, it used to be you took antibiotics 2 days before you went to the dentist. That's what they said was scientifically correct. And then they changed it to just right before you go to the dentist, you take antibiotics. And then after I had found out I didn't have a heart murmur, the research was saying, the dentist finally told me, well, what they're finding now in the research is there's more of a danger from the antibiotics than from a possibility of infection. So the Dental Association is saying, we recommend no antibiotics, even if you did have a problem with a heart murmur. So it's like, maybe they just got new information and now what we were told my entire life had never been true, but they had thought it was true. Now, there's some stuff that's come out. I'm going to show you something really cool in a little bit, and you're in a session right now. So you might be different, you might notice how you're different even after this session, even though it appears as if I'm just rambling on. And I am rambling on, I talk a lot, but stuff changes on these videos. And so you might want to notice that afterwards, but I'm going to show you something really cool. And then you can show you a way to access this stuff that I'm playing with right now. It gets very quick changes for people. And so right now, I used to think that if we could just vaccinate all the kids in the world, everybody would be healthy. Why don't the politicians just make sure everybody's vaccinated so that the kids are safe? And if you've been following me at all, me and Jen, my wife, the last few months, that we found a lot of stuff. And what we've been told is completely wrong. But this time around, what we were being told, the other side, the people that are pro-vaccine, and right now there's 72 vaccines on the schedule for children, what we've been told is not true, and they actually know it's not true. So if you really start to scratch the surface, and if you want more information, I can give you more information of the medical research that was done by the CDC and by others now that are showing what's going on. And so we're finding some real problems with the vaccine schedule. And I'm seeing that a lot of people that have conditions that are coming to see me to get help, to get healed, a lot of them are vaccine injured, even though they don't know it, even though it's a problem like an autoimmune condition or some sort of pain condition or some sort of mental type condition. There's a lot of people that are dealing with significant serious medical conditions that appear to have been caused by vaccines. And so there might be a usefulness to this. And I'll tell you what I'm seeing, because I used to think that, getting measles and mumps and that sort of thing was bad. And I didn't when I was a little kid, because it wasn't thought of like that. But 10 years ago, I was wondering what to do. And when Ben was born 7 years ago, we were wondering what to do, with the vaccines. And we looked at it, and I thought that was useful to get those vaccines. But as I researched it, I started to see, there's a difference. And what we found is now in the scientific literature, if a child gets the measles, that person, as they become an adult, is much less likely to get heart disease or heart attacks or cancer. That's in the medical research. Getting measles is actually protective against heart disease and cancer. And Jen was reading in a research article, peer-reviewed medical research, that a woman that gets mumps as a child is much less likely to get ovarian cancer. So it's like, what we've been told, what I used to think, is being turned on its head. And so now to the thing that I want to show you. There's a way to play with information and energy and spirit that I believe is not, my experience is it's not controlled or controllable by people trying to give us false data. And so there's something that I found when I was looking for faster, better. And when I was looking and asking God and spirit, show me, please, is there a faster way to help people, with their healing, to get over these conditions and do stuff? I was led to Anita Moorjani. If you don't know her, she's a woman that had terminal cancer and then had this miraculous recovery, had a near-death experience, and then it all went away, just like totally went away. And then now she writes books and is on tours and was with Wayne Dyer and she talks about what it's like on the other side. And my friend who had a near-death experience years ago, I interviewed him a while back. It's on our YouTube channel. I asked him, what was it like? What was it like when you had that near-death experience, when you were on the other side? And he said, instantly I knew everything and I was everything. And so I started playing with this way of accessing information. And when I took Matrix Energetics a few years ago, I've taken 35 classes in that or so, maybe more now, I'd have to count them up. The guy that Matrix Energetics came through, that developed it, showed it to us, Richard Bartlett, had an extra day in one of the classes. And he said, yeah, I don't know how we're going to teach this, but there's something coming through and it's really cool. And he described it. And as he described it, I thought, oh my goodness, he's talking about this same thing, this information that's on the other side, whatever you want to call that, the other side of the veil, or, whatever that is. So, there's an old TV ad that was, this woman was getting her manicure done and talking about her skin and dish soap. I don't know how good that dish soap is actually, but the manicurist was saying, well, you're actually soaking in it right now. It was a dish soap that was being used, and it just reminds me of this thing. You're actually soaking in whatever this is, this information, this energy, this spirit, this thing. And so for the next moment, I'm gonna, yeah, there we go. So there's a lot of stuff we don't know, and there's a lot of stuff we think we know, and then later it comes to light that we have an epiphany, and it's like, oh my goodness, what I thought wasn't true after all. But I think there's something that supersedes all of that. And I want to show it to you. So you're in it right now. And what you might want to do is recheck your shoulder, your neck, your back, walk around, see how the world looks and feels to you. See if something's different. Even right now from the chair you're sitting in, you can get up and move around and check it again. Yeah. And let me know what you notice. And then let me know what you noticed over the day and over the days, whether you're watching this live or later. Yeah, cool. Now, if you might be interested in how to use this, how to do this, how to play with this, a whole hour of this, I do a session every month. It's called Miracles, Magic, Healing, and More. And if you're watching live, it's this next Sunday. And you can have the first month for free. It's a thing where you can be with me every month for a little teeny, you can be with me every month, and I can talk to you about that if you're interested. But you can have the first month for free. And in this month, I'm going to be doing this. You could call it a technique. It's this thing that I found. And I'm going to be showing you how to use it so you can use it for yourself. And you'll get to keep the video. So if you're interested in that, go to the links, and it'll be in the description below a little bit later. In fact, I'll put it in right as soon as I finish this video. All right. So welcome, everybody. Have a great Friday if you're watching it live. A great day if you're watching it another day. And let me know what you notice after being in whatever this space or information or technique is. And let me know what's different. All right. Bye now.